The best 4K Blu-ray players deliver the ultimate picture quality for watching movies and TV series at home. Although streaming services are popular, Blu-rays deliver video at a higher bitrate, bringing you more detail and realism. There are other benefits to Blu-rays, like the fact you truly own your movie collection and get stunning box art and behind-the-scenes extras that come on the disc. It's no surprise home theater lovers say one of the best 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray players is essential. However, with the rise of streaming services, dedicated disc players are less common. This is a shame, considering that these are the ultimate way to show off one of the best TVs, and their uncompressed sound helps make the most of the best soundbars or best home theater systems. It may not be a very vibrant market now. You'll notice all our top picks are from Panasonic, which dominates this field now, with Sony also still offering some options. But there are models across different budget ranges. We've tested these models, using them with elite TVs to show off their potential. We've also included the latest Xbox and PlayStation consoles in this roundup, because they support 4K Blu-ray discs too. But we address them separately after the dedicated players. We have listed the 5 best 4K Blu-ray player in 2024, and their key features. You need to consider this to help you choose the best one for you. For more information on the product, as always, I've included a link in the description box down below, which are updated with the best prices on each product. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned till the end so you don't miss anything. Now let's get started. Number 5. Panasonic DMP UB700 4K Blu-ray Player. With millions of discs sold and a catalog of hundreds of titles, the UHD Blu-ray format has defied critics and appears to be finding an audience amongst keen 4K files with an eye for quality. But if you want to jump on board, what UHD deck should you buy? We finally have a definitive answer: the Panasonic DMP UB700, the second 4K Blu-ray player ever released by Panasonic. At $400, approximately $500, a $670, the DMP UB700 is a good deal cheaper than its predecessor, the highfalutin $600 DMP UB900. But what has been sacrificed, if anything, to hit this new price point with the Panasonic DMP UB700? Not much at all at first glance, with the unit promising something close to content nirvana. In addition to 4K UHD compatibility, it'll spin regular Blu-rays, including 3D platters, plus DVDs and CDs. It doesn't support DVD audio or Super Audio CD, but it does offer high-res audio file support. And there's a decent selection of streaming apps on board too. Design-wise, the Pana deck is similar to the UB900. In a dark theater, you'd struggle to tell them apart. The chassis looks much the same with its full-width drop-down fascia, but the UB900 has a little more refinement. Look to the bottom, and you'll notice heavy-duty anti-resonance feet have been replaced by sorry-looking pads. Connectivity has also been stripped back. There's a single digital optical output, and no analog provision at all. And while the UB900 comes with a full-size remote control, the UB700 has a dumpy half-pint alternative. What you get in the box is still as functional, but it's slightly more awkward to use. Spin the Panasonic DMP UB700 around, and you'll find 2 HDMIs on the rear, one of which is audio only, in case your AV receiver isn't 4K UHD compatible. Number 4. Sony UBP X800 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Player. Sony announced its first 4K Blu-ray player in September of 2016, the UBP X1000, and while it looked like it was the business, it was also a sobering $700, $725 or $940. This was followed by the UBP X800, and most recently the UBP X700, which crucially adds Dolby Vision. Despite the presence of the newer player, the Sony X800 is still available and offers excellent playback quality, plus a design that feels solid and high-end, unlike typical non-4K players today. Its $249,400, a $4,999 price, compares well against other manufacturers' players, such as the 559 Videophile, Oppo UDP-203, now discontinued but still available. Yet the sticking point is Sony's own X700. It's cheaper and has better support for HDR formats. In the 12 months since we reviewed the X800, a lot has changed. More 4K players have come out, prices have come down, and Dolby Vision has become a more viable format. Performance-wise, there's not much to separate the X700 and X800, except that the more expensive player is marginally better at DVD playback. As a result, the X800 is no longer our go-to 4K player, and we now present two alternatives. If you want streaming apps and Dolby Vision, get the X700. If you want to save money and get an even faster player but no streaming apps, the LG UPI 870 is an out-and-out bargain. First published May 27, 2017. Update May 8, 2018. The introduction and conclusion of this review have been updated to account for more recent reviews, including the Sony X700. The X800's value rating dropped from 8 to 7, and its overall rating was lowered from 8.1 to 7.9. The design of the X800 is virtually identical to the more expensive X1000 with its low-slung, book-on-its-side appearance. The most notable difference is that there's no display on the X800. Number 3. Pioneer UDP LX500 Ultra HD Blu-ray Player. Like the Oppo players and Panasonic's DMP UB820, the LX500 provides onboard tone mapping for use with projectors. Using a simple on-off approach, it did a commendable job during my tests. The Pioneer can't match the Panasonic player on this front when it comes to adjusting for specific display types, but it did manage to make a wide range of content converted to SDR and fed to a JVC DLA NX9 projector look great. During playback, you can push the picture optimization button on the Pioneer's remote and toggle between any custom presets you've configured. Each memory provides a slider that determines how much dynamic range is used for HDR conversion. I set up 3 memories at 200, 400, and 600 nits to cover the majority of the Ultra HD Blu-rays I used for testing. As it turned out, 400 nits provided enough range to display most titles without visible clipping artifacts. A few really bright titles required more range, and in those situations the 600 nit setting helped to eliminate white crush in the image. The Meg and Starship Troopers come to mind. I did note some banding when using the 600 nit setting, which makes me think that the player's video processing chip was struggling with the tone map. I've tested the same content with multiple solutions, including other players, and saw no artifacts. Still, more often than not, image quality was quite good, and once I had my presets to toggle through, everyday use was easy breezy. I spent a couple weeks using the Pioneer as my daily disc spinner and eventually grew accustomed to the interface, which I would rate as faster and more robust than the Panasonic's. When you load a disc, it displays related movie art during the initial load, a slick touch that I haven't seen in a player before. I did encounter a few playback issues, however. Number 2. Panasonic DMP UB300 4K Pro Ultra HD Blu-ray Player. Panasonic's DMP UB300 EB looks much like any other budget Blu-ray deck. It's ultra-compact, just 320 meter wide, and swaps a display for a lonely red power LED to signify that it's awake. Build quality is bargain basement. The difference is this is a disc spinner has Ultra HD Premium certification. Down market is the new high-end. The UB300 is built to a price. The front fascia comprises a disc tray and unbunged USB port. Rear side connections are stripped back to just a single HDMI output, USB 3.0 port, and Ethernet. Perhaps surprisingly, cutbacks even extend to Wi-Fi support. There isn't any. You'll need a wired LAN connection to get this cheapie online. But when it comes to playback performance, things are rather different. Panasonic has shoehorned a Lexus engine into this Lada-like body. Panasonic may have wielded a cost-cutting red pen, but the deck's video engine has escaped unscathed. The UB300, which is HDR10 only compliant, offers top-notch video playback. The deck features the same 4K high-precision chroma processor as its upmarket predecessors, the DMP UB900 and DMP UB700. But Panasonic has widened the number of output options. The UHD Blu-ray format mandates 4.2 NO chroma subsampling, but this Panasonic will interpolate to 4.2.2 or 4.4.4. For cast iron display compatibility, there is a new deep color 10-bit priority mode. If your TV exhibits color banding effects with the default 12-bit output, select the 10-bit priority mode instead. The flip side of these technical inclusions is that whether your TV is budget or bleeding edge, the UB300 should have no trouble working alongside it. Number 1. Panasonic DP-UB9000 4K Blu-ray player. The Panasonic DP-UB9000 is a UHD Blu-ray player that retails for 10,999 Ushwars. What is a consumer electronic product introduced in 2018 that is the same unit being sold today, except for an audio component swap and some firmware updates? Other than headphones and speakers, most people in the industry would call it a dinosaur. Panasonic calls it a flagship, and most physical media-loving videophiles would agree. Here's why I do too. After almost 5 years on the market, one supply chain-oriented hardware swap, and multiple firmware updates, the DP-UB9000 is still considered the 4K Blu-ray player to beat, and the best disc-based video file solution for 4K and now 8K displays and projectors. The DP-UB9000 reference class UHD Blu-ray player utilizes Panasonic in-house color and HDR processing technologies to reproduce 4K UHD pictures with cinema-level quality in the home. The DP-UB9000 plays almost every modern disc-based, CD-sized video format. The DP-UB9000 also supports every current iteration of HDR technology, including HDR10+, HLG, and Dolby Vision, combined with what Panasonic says is the best possible audio quality to complement the best disc-based media picture quality. Users can get all of this for an average retail selling price of $1,999. From a design perspective, let's talk about what sets this player apart from other Panasonic players and a lot of their competition. That's build quality. Panasonic engineers combined premium materials such as thick, rigid aluminum panels which limit vibration with an elegant design to create this flagship player.